Hello there, friend. Let's take a quiet breath together. Have you ever walked into your own living room, set your keys down, looked around, and felt like something just wasn't sitting right? It's not that the room was dirty, but maybe it didn't feel like you. Like peace had slowly been replaced with piles. Books here, shoes there, yesterday's mail still waiting on the table. It happens quietly. Because over the years, life comes in waves. A grandchild leaves behind toys. A magazine stack grows without you noticing. A chair becomes a coat rack, not from laziness, from living. And yet, those little layers begin to chip away at the stillness we long for. When we were younger, we powered through the clutter. Saturday deep cleans, all-day organizing marathons. But now, our energy asks for something gentler, and maybe wiser. What if it wasn't about scrubbing harder or making everything picture perfect? What if instead it was about finding small rhythms that make your home feel like a place that gives back to you, not one that keeps asking for more? In today's video, I'm going to share 10 simple, heartfelt habits that real women and men over 60 have quietly used to turn their homes into spaces that breathe with them, not against them. These aren't big, sweeping changes. No loud cleaning routines. No need to flip the couch cushions every other day. Just daily whispers of care. Movements that feel like kindness, not chores. Because the truth is, a clean home is never really about impressing the neighbors. It's about walking into your kitchen in the morning and feeling calm. It's about sitting on your couch at the end of the day and not seeing a dozen things calling your name. It's about creating a space that feels like exhale. So stay with me. And as we go through each habit, I want you to imagine not just the steps, but how you'll feel when the room reflects your heart again. When your home becomes a place that holds you, gently and with pride. Let's begin, not with pressure, but with peace. Chapter 1. They reset the room, not just the stuff. You fluff the pillow, straighten a magazine, maybe even smooth the throw blanket on the arm of the couch. It looks tidy enough, but when you walk back into the room later, something still feels off. Like the space didn't really exhale, like you never fully left it, or it never fully welcomed you back. Because here's the quiet truth. Clean isn't always visual. It's emotional. For so many women over 60, especially those living alone or with grown children long gone, home becomes more than four walls. It's our sanctuary, our thinking space, our place of memory and healing. And when a room isn't reset, not just in appearance but in intention, it holds unfinished energy, a kind of tension we carry without realizing it. That's why the cleanest, calmest homes I've ever visited don't just organize things, they close the loop. After using a room, whether it's the living room after morning coffee, the bathroom after brushing teeth, or the kitchen after a quiet lunch, they gently reset the space with one thought in mind. This space is ready to serve me again later. It doesn't require scrubbing or perfection, just a soft ritual. 2 minutes. That's it. Try this. After you finish in a room, pause. Look around not as a critic, but as someone tucking the room in for a nap. Fold the blanket you used. Push in the chair you sat in. Close that drawer that's still slightly ajar. Wipe the water spot in the sink. Light a small candle or plug in a diffuser with lavender or citrus, a scent that signals fresh chapter. These tiny actions don't say, "I cleaned." They say, "This room is at peace." And when you return, whether in 10 minutes or that evening, the room meets you with softness, with steadiness, with space to breathe. So, no, this isn't about appearances. It's about how you feel the moment you walk through the doorway. Try it today. 1 room, 2 minutes. Let it hold you better, because you deserve to feel held. Chapter 2. They let natural light in first thing. Good morning starts long before coffee. It begins with a quiet moment. One you don't read about in most cleaning checklists, but one that women with the calmest, coziest homes swear by. They open the blinds. Not just for brightness, but for breath. Letting natural light in is more than a chore or a habit. It's a signal to your body, to your spirit, to your home, that a new day has begun. Think about it. You walk into the kitchen, your hands still soft from sleep, and you reach for the curtain cord. In one simple motion, sunlight pours in. Not loud, not harsh, just soft golden light touching everything it sees. And suddenly, so do you. There's something grounding about natural light. It doesn't ask for anything. It just arrives, honest and steady. For many women over 60, this daily ritual becomes their first emotional check-in. Before the world asks anything of you, before your phone dings or the to-do list whispers, you welcome the day on your terms. Even cloudy light has magic. On gray mornings, the light might be diffused, cooler, quieter, but it's still light. And in a world that often moves too fast, that kind of gentle awakening is a gift. This habit doesn't need a timer or a checklist, just intention. Open the living room curtains, crack a window in the bedroom, let light spill across the floorboards, the counter, the table you've gathered around for decades. Notice how it lifts the dust, softens the colors, touches your plants, and brightens your skin. Not for vanity, but vitality. Natural light reminds you of seasons, of rhythm, of time passing, yes, but also of time arriving. And homes that feel the most alive often don't rely on expensive decor or hours of scrubbing. They simply let the light in. Try it tomorrow morning. Before anything else, even your slippers, make your first move toward the window. Let it be your gentle alarm clock, your first yes to the day. You might find that just this small shift resets not just your space, but your mood, your breath, and the way you carry yourself through everything else. Because when your home starts the day breathing in light, you start the day with more room to exhale. Chapter 3. They never leave a room empty-handed. Clutter doesn't appear overnight. It settles in quietly, piece by piece. A single sock near the stairs, a glass on the side table, a sweater flung over the back of a chair, waiting patiently for someone to remember it. At first, you walk past them. Then you stop seeing them. But somewhere in the back of your mind, in that quiet corner where mental weight gathers, it starts to feel heavier than it looks. For many seniors with effortlessly tidy homes, there's no magic system, no constant tidying or bursts of energy, just one gentle, intentional habit. They never leave a room empty-handed. Every time they stand up, they scan, not like a sergeant, but like someone who cares. What doesn't belong here? They ask softly. And whatever small item answers, it comes along. It could be a teacup heading back to the kitchen, a forgotten napkin heading to the trash, a half-read magazine returned to the basket by the fireplace. These aren't chores. They're tiny acts of maintenance, little kindnesses for your future self. The beauty of this habit isn't just in the tidiness, it's in how easy it becomes. No giant cleanup sessions, no overwhelming Saturday mornings spent finally getting the house back together. Just a flow, a rhythm, a life where things gently return to where they belong, almost without effort. And the emotional benefit is real. Every object returned feels like a thread woven back into place. The room starts to breathe again. And so do you. Try this. The next time you rise from your chair, even just to get a glass of water, let your eyes wander. Is there something nearby that can come with you? Something that needs relocating? Don't make it a burden. Make it a pause, a gesture, a simple choice to keep energy moving and peace settling. What you'll notice over time is how this habit changes the feel of your home. Surfaces stay clearer, corners stay open, and you start to trust your space again, not as something that demands attention, but as something that responds to it with grace. When you leave no room empty-handed, you're not just carrying an object, you're carrying intention. And in doing so, your home becomes less of a project and more of a partner, one that supports your calm, not your chaos. Chapter 4. They have a landing zone, and they use it. It's such a small thing. A pair of sunglasses, a water bill, a half-written birthday card. These aren't messes by themselves, just pieces of life. But give them a few hours, or a few days, and suddenly, your kitchen counter looks like a lost and found box, and the calm you wanted to walk into is buried under reminders. The most organized seniors don't have bigger homes or fancier storage. What they have is a landing zone, and more importantly, a habit of using it. Imagine walking through the front door. You've just returned from the grocery store, or maybe the mailbox. In your hands, a few receipts, the car keys, your reading glasses, a piece of junk mail you didn't mean to bring in. The old habit might have been to scatter them. Keys on the counter, glasses on the table, mail wherever there's room. But the wiser way? One step, one spot, one small tray by the door. That's it. It doesn't have to be beautiful. A wooden bowl, a woven basket, even a dish you used to save for company. What matters is consistency. Your home starts to breathe again when every incoming thing has a place to land, not a place to wander. The trick is not to let the landing zone become a storage bin. It's not where things live, it's where they pause. It catches the clutter before it spreads. And when you empty it once a day, say after dinner or before bed, you're never overwhelmed. You're just gently redirecting what arrived. This little habit might seem too small to matter, but it's one of the most powerful, because every item you handle only once is a stress you don't have to carry twice. And every minute you spend at the landing zone is a minute your kitchen counter, your dining table, and your peace of mind are protected. Try this. Put something beautiful or grounding in your landing zone. A small stone, a photo of someone you love, a lavender sachet. Let it remind you that even the messiest days deserve a soft place to land, because a clear path to your keys often opens a clear path back to your calm. Chapter 5. They give the bathroom 60 seconds daily. You walk into the bathroom. At first glance, everything looks fine. But then you notice the little things. A toothpaste spot near the faucet, a few stray hairs in the sink, a faint water ring on the mirror. They're not disasters, just little signs of life. And if left untouched, they quietly build up. Until one day, the bathroom feels more used than yours. But here's the thing. Seniors with the cleanest, most welcoming bathrooms rarely do deep scrubs. What they do instead is something simple, almost invisible. They give the space 60 seconds a day, and it makes all the difference. This isn't about scrubbing grout or organizing drawers. It's about care in motion. After brushing their teeth, they pause. Grab a microfiber cloth or a tissue. One quick wipe under the faucet. A swipe across the mirror. They swish the toilet with a brush, not because it's dirty, but because they know it won't be if they stay ahead of it. They don't wait for things to feel gross. They tend to them while they still feel gentle. And the result? A bathroom that's never a burden, never a project, just ready for guests, for grandchildren, for that moment of quiet at night when you're washing your face and thanking your body for another day. Try this tonight. After you're done with your routine, don't walk away right away. Instead, take a breath. Notice the sink, the handles, the little tray where you keep your hand cream. Spend just 1 minute putting things back in place. No gloves, no sprays, just presence. It's easy to dismiss this habit, to think, I'll clean it later. But later often asks for more energy than we want to give. Now, 60 seconds now, keeps you in a rhythm that honors your space without draining you. Because the truth is, a bathroom doesn't need to sparkle. It just needs to feel ready. Ready for you, ready for life, ready to say, come in, you're home. Chapter 6. They cook and clean, as a rhythm, not a task. You're standing at the stove. The soup simmers gently. A wooden spoon rests nearby, and the kettle's just starting to whisper its boil. In this quiet moment, it's tempting to walk away, to sit down, to say, I'll clean it later. We've all done it. And yet, later, the pile waits. The crumbs harden. The grease settles. Suddenly, what was once a small task feels like a mountain. But here's the truth the most serene kitchens reveal. Cleanliness isn't a chore they add on. It's a rhythm they live in. Think of it like a slow dance. One step forward, one gentle sweep. Stir the pot, then wipe the counter. Let the onions soften while you rinse the knife. The sponge becomes a companion, not a punishment. The towel becomes part of the choreography. It's not perfection, it's presence. In homes that feel peaceful, the kitchen tells a quiet story, not of scrubbing marathons or cleaning frenzies, but of grace in motion. There's always a cloth within reach, a little bin for compost nearby. The sink never overflows because things never quite get the chance. And no, it's not about being fast. It's about being with your space while it serves you. Washing that spoon right after you use it isn't about saving time. It's about honoring the now. And when dinner's done, the cleanup feels like a soft exhale, not a second shift. Try this. The next time you boil water, don't check your phone. Wipe the nearby counter instead. The next time you chop vegetables, pause after and rinse the board. These little gestures, repeated, build a kitchen that feels loved, not labored over. Because when you cook with care and clean with rhythm, your kitchen begins to feel like a place of nourishment in every sense, not just for the body, but for the spirit too. Chapter 7. They don't organize later. They organize while living. You open the drawer looking for batteries. It's half full of old chargers, a few pens that don't work, and a mystery key that hasn't had a home in 10 years. You think, I should clean this out, but you close the drawer. Not now, maybe Saturday, but Saturday never comes, and the drawer? It stays the same. Seniors with truly organized homes don't wait for the perfect weekend. They know the truth. Organization doesn't happen all at once. It happens in motion. Let's drop the myth of the big sort. You don't need a label maker. You don't need matching bins. What you need is one small moment, every day, where you make a choice to keep, to release, to make space. Every time you fold laundry, ask yourself, do I still wear this? If the answer is no, place it in a donation bag right then. Every time you grab a spatula, glance around the drawer. Is there something in there you haven't touched in months? Let it go. Don't organize your house. Organize your habits. Because the real clutter isn't just physical, it's mental. It's the weight of delayed decisions, of unfinished piles, of quiet guilt around what we're supposed to do someday. But when you integrate sorting into life itself, The mess never grows. It just moves, gently, toward clarity. Here's a little ritual. Keep a small basket labeled "Let Go," not tucked away, but visible. Every few days, drop in one thing. A mug you don't use, a scarf you've outgrown, a notepad with dried out pages. When it's full, donate it or discard it. Don't overthink it. Just trust the rhythm. Because the goal isn't a Pinterest perfect pantry. It's a home where you can open any drawer, any closet, and feel calm. Not chaos. That's what real organization looks like. Not staged, not sterile, just quietly lived in and lovingly maintained, one small moment at a time. Chapter 8. They sweep energy, not just to floors. It's easy to think of sweeping as just another household chore. You push the broom, gather crumbs, and move on. But for those who've spent a lifetime creating homes filled with warmth, sweeping becomes something more. It's not just the motion, it's the message. Each stroke says, I care for this space, even if no one's coming over, even if no one notices but you. Especially then, because the act of sweeping carries energy. It clears the invisible weight, the things we didn't say, the little irritations, the noise we picked up from the day. It's less about dirt and more about presence. Try this. Choose one area, just one. Maybe it's the kitchen, where crumbs seem to multiply overnight. Maybe it's the entryway, where the day's footsteps begin and end. Or maybe it's the hallway, the quiet place you pass through without thinking. Sweep slowly, not to race the dust, but to reset the energy. Feel the shift, not just under your feet, but within. Because sometimes, clearing the floor is how we make space for peace. Chapter 9. They make the bed for themselves. The house is still. Morning light spills softly across the sheets. No one's watching. There's no performance here. And yet, you smooth the blanket, fluff the pillow, tug the corners. Why? Because this small act isn't about impressing a guest. It's about preparing a space for yourself. Seniors who feel most at ease in their bedrooms often have this one quiet habit in common. They make the bed, not out of duty, but as a daily offering. A soft declaration that says, I deserve to come back to a space that feels calm and ready and cared for. There's no need for tight hospital corners or picture-perfect spreads, just a few moments of loving attention. It might take 90 seconds, but it sets the tone for your entire day. And later, when the day winds down and your body is ready to rest, you'll peel back that smooth blanket and feel held. Not by fabric, but by the intention you placed there that morning. It's not about the bed, it's about the feeling. And the quiet truth is, we all sleep better in spaces that feel honored. Chapter 10. They end the day with a gentle reset. Evenings move slower now. The world outside quiets down. There's a pause, a softness, and in that space, a beautiful choice to close the day not with chaos, but with care. The calmest homes don't wait for morning to reset. They end each night with a ritual, gentle, unrushed, meaningful. It's not about scrubbing floors or reorganizing drawers. It's about tiny signals that say, you've done enough for today. Let's soften the edges now. So maybe you start by folding the throw blanket draped over the couch. You place the remote back in its little basket. You wipe down a counter. Not because it's dirty, but because it feels nice. You dim the lights just a touch. Light a candle with a scent that feels like comfort, and breathe in. Some nights, that's all you need. It's a kind of gratitude. Not loud, not ceremonial. Just a quiet nod to the space that held you through another day. Try setting a 5-minute timer. Not to race the clock, but to make space, to let your home and your heart exhale. Because tomorrow will come, yes, but this moment right now, it's a gift. Let your home reflect that. Chapter 11. They keep supplies where they use them. You spot it. A streak on the mirror. A little toothpaste splash. Nothing big. You think, I'll clean that later. But the day keeps moving, and so do you. By evening, the smudge is still there. Not because you forgot, but because what you needed wasn't nearby. Seniors with tidy, stress-free homes don't always clean more. They clean smarter. They've learned this truth. It's not about motivation. It's about location. Because when a duster lives upstairs and the mess is downstairs, chances are it stays. So instead, they create little pockets of readiness, quiet systems tucked into everyday corners. A vinegar spray and cloth under the kitchen sink, disinfecting wipes in the bathroom drawer, a tiny dustpan and brush in the laundry room, a handheld vac near the couch where the crumbs gather. When the tools are close, the mess never gets a head start. Cleaning stops being a decision and becomes a habit, a natural, almost invisible gesture of care that keeps their home flowing and their day uncluttered. So go ahead, tuck a cloth where it's needed, stash a spray in reach, and feel how light it becomes when tidying takes seconds, not size. Chapter 12. They take a moment to enjoy their space. The blanket is folded, the candle is lit, the counter shines quietly in the low afternoon light. And then, what happens next? Do you jump to the next task? Head out the door? Scroll the phone? Or do you pause? The seniors with the most peaceful homes, they know something special. That a clean space isn't just to be looked at, it's to be felt. They sit in their favorite chair, pour a small cup of tea, let soft music fill the corners. They take 5 minutes, no more, and let the space hold them. They breathe, they smile. Sometimes they reflect on the day. Sometimes they just close their eyes and exist. Because a home is more than rooms and routines. It's a companion, a reflection of the life you've built and the calm you now deserve. Try this tonight. Light a candle or play your favorite instrumental tune. Sit in the room you just tended to. Let the stillness speak. You'll feel something soften, not just around you, within you. Because this isn't just about chores. This is about celebrating care. The care you give, the care you've earned, the care you live in. You don't need a perfect home. You need a peaceful one. Let's say this together. One last time. Clean doesn't mean cold. Organized doesn't mean rigid. And cozy doesn't mean cluttered. What you deserve, especially now, is a home that meets you where you are. A space that whispers, you're safe here. You've done enough today. Rest. And those 12 habits? They aren't rules. They're invitations. To show your home the same gentleness you offer to others. To honor what you've built and who you're becoming. To create a rhythm of care, not just for your space, but for your spirit. So before you go, tell me in the comments, what habit touched something in you? Which one might you try this week gently? If this video brought you comfort or clarity, I'd be honored if you tapped like. It helps more women discover these soft, sustainable ways to live well. And if you'd like more gentle encouragement like this every week, subscribe. Because here, we're not chasing perfection. We're creating peace. One small habit, one soft moment, one peaceful room at a time.